Hi guys, Shamian here. I am making hot cross buns. This is my version of it. The last one I did, the last demo or video I did on the cross buns, I wasn't too impressed with the texture of it. So I am doing it over now. For my version, you will need 3 cups of sifted flour, 2 packets of active dry yeast, which is equivalent to 2 tablespoons. You will need 1/4 cup of sugar. I am using brown sugar this time around for it. I did not mix the sugar in the liquid. I put it directly into the flour. You will need 1/4 cup of raisins. My preferred raisin of choice for this is the California brown raisins. You will need 1/4 cup of mixed peels. It could be like finely chopped. The finer the better, right? 1/4 cup of mixed peas, like I said. You will need 2 eggs, room temperature, and the zest of 1 orange, 1 tablespoon of nutmeg, 1/2 teaspoon of iodized salt or fine sea salt, and 1/4 cup of butter is what you will need. 1/2 cup of butter, sorry, I said 1/4 cup, so that is 1/2 cup of butter, right? The zest of one fresh orange, so I zested before we came on set, right, using my Mario Batali zester. And I am using, instead of carnation milk this time, I am using UHT milk, full cream UHT milk. Look for the milk of your choice, okay? So I am going to start now, like I said. Please use a wooden spoon for cross buns. There's a well already in the middle of it. I'm just going to throw in first the, your liquids must be a certain temperature to activate the yeast. This time I am using the liquid more warm than I did the first time around. Like I said, this is my version of hot cross buns. Right, so we are mixing in everything now. Right? The thing with it, most times, like when I follow the recipe of the hot cross bun, always remember, I always say we can always put a little more flour if there's an issue, but you don't want this too dry. I noticed that with the other demo I did, there was a problem when it was too dry. So I am going to just dust it with a little bit of flour. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But don't knead it as if you are kneading bread. It's not gonna be as nice. You all know I am real with you all. This is not a professional. This is not a show that they pay me to say things that is not real or to impress anyone. So you guys know one of the things with me is that I am very, very real with you all. I don't kid you all. You all could rest assured knowing if I say so, when it comes to something I'm cooking, it is so. So I'm gonna add the equivalent of about 3 tablespoons of flour, right? The scent is just lovely. I added some freshly grated ginger in here also. Some people will tell you use the powdered one. I use the fresh one. I'm gonna add just again about 3 more tablespoons, but this is about the texture you are looking for. Don't go too dry with this. You want it nice. I could already tell it's going to be perfect buns just by the way it feels underneath the movement of the spoon. You know, when you cook a lot and you do things, you learn by simple trial and error. So at this stage, I'm going to leave it at this stage. Oh, one tip though. You want to leave it to rise in a grease bowl. Not interfering with it at all. Remember, you can always add more flour, right? So this is where I'm going to leave it to. When I'm going to roll it out the final time, I will add flour. It's not the consistency of like a cake batter, it isn't, but it isn't like doughy, because with the last one it was really doughy. I did not like the texture. The taste, however, I must say was amazing, right? For those of you might be a little uncomfortable with it at this stage, feel free to add more flour. So in total, I will say I added about a 1/2 cup of flour in total. Feel free. I tell you all, I don't kid you all. We learn by trial and error. That last demo, the taste was amazing. I did not like the texture one bit. Right? So I'll just lift with the spoon to show you guys what we have now. So this is what you want. Right? So you all seen it? I'm sure you all have seen it. This is what we are looking for. I still have a little more mixing to do. Nothing much, nothing to be alarmed about. Right? It's going to sit. I'm going to change bowls when we come off, and then you're going to see how everything is put together. Right? Remember, for the sake of time and all of that. So this is my version of cross bun. You see the mixed peels in there coming through. It's yellow soft that you are seeing. Yeah, it's coming through nicely. So at this texture, like I said, don't go drier than this. It's for a reason. And most of the baking demos, most of the baking recipes, they call for dusting with a lot of flour after. They really do. If you read up on some baking recipes, you will see that they are asking for 4 cups of flour, but what they'll do is start with the 3 cups and then they start adding as they go. It is how it is done with baking. It's just the way it is. I don't know why. Right? Remember, baking is a science of formula, one-off move, and it's downhill from there. So, like I said, this is the texture I want. Right? Until I am ready for the final stages of things. So guys, it was my pleasure, and you all know I will be with you all with how everything, the final turnout of my version of the hot cross buns. So this is the point that we want the dough to come up to. It is triple the size of where it started. It really is triple the size. Go back and watch and see where we started with the dough. Remember, I said this is my version of hot cross buns, okay? So at this stage, you want to please put it to rest or rise in a grease bowl, a grease container. Then put like cling wrap over it. If you don't have cling wrap, I want to say again, you can use new shower caps or what is known as steam caps here in the Caribbean. Right? So this is what you want to have. I will just touch. My hands was washed. You all know I'm big on handling of food, safe handling of food, so I wash my hands. This is the texture of what we have. Right? This dough is already shrinking, which is what we want, because it have to rise once I roll it. Once I form it, I have to put it on my grease sheet to rise. Right? This dough is also what we will call here in the Caribbean a basic sweet dough. It is used for many different things like tea rings and sticky buns and things like that, you know. It is the same dough, right? Don't get things confused. So I'm just gonna flour my surface a little bit. It was sanitized using a kitchen safe disinfectant wipes. So I'm just gonna sanitize my area. I'm just going to put flour, on my sanitized area to start the process of rolling out the buns into the desired size that I want. Right? So you just let it out on a bit. But remember, when I touched it earlier, it started to lose air, right? So it's going down even more, starting to relax, and we just give it one more roll before we start making it into the forms, as I said, that we want. You don't want the dough too dry, like I said at the start of the demo, right? So we just start cutting, and it smells amazing. I could smell the ginger and the citrus. I also use a bit of aromatic orange flavored bitters in here, right? Angostura brand was used. I don't see much of the Angostura orange flavored bitters. I know we get the regular one, the original one. It's very readily available at almost any supermarket and so forth, right? But I don't see the orange flavored one really, or is it that I haven't looked for it recently? So this is about the size you want. Not too small, not too big. Some people will do it smaller than this. Let us keep in mind it still have to rise a bit before we get it into the oven. Right, so obviously I'm not going to roll out all for the sake of time. I'm just showing this is the texture of the inside of the dough. It's very nice, moist and nice. You are seeing the orange peel in there also, which is what you want to see. The mixed peel, I said orange peel, forgive me. Remember that I use some orange zest. I change things up a bit. Keep in mind this is my version of hot cross buns. Right, I want to just take some time to encourage you all. Try to get it as even size as possible. I grease the sheet by the way with normal margarine or butter. Right, I want to encourage you all to don't doubt your abilities in whatever you might do. That is good. Don't doubt your abilities and don't underestimate your abilities. Right, it's so easy. It's almost too easy, really it is. I just need a pinch more for this one. It's almost too easy to try to imitate or follow someone else's work. Believe in yourself, right? I was, today I said to myself, I say, you know what? I'm going to do my own hot cross bun based on what I think could be added and used to it. And this dough is a lot nicer than the first demo on hot cross buns that I did. I would not kid you, it's much nicer. And again, it was done following ideas that I had in my mind. So don't doubt yourself. Learn to trust your judgment where good is concerned, and follow suit. I just wanted to say that in whatever line of work you do, because obviously it's not only those that cook will watch the demos and the videos. People from all different trades and skills of life will watch the demos. Some people who don't cook, but they just like to watch videos of food. It is a fact. It is a fact, right? So don't doubt yourself. Don't ever doubt yourself, right? Remember, I said the goal is to keep it to one size, really, right? You could see the texture of the dough. It have a lovely sheen, right? It's very brilliant. Right, for those of you that might be wondering, you are seeing also the orange zest coming through in there, the fresh orange zest, right? For those of you that might be wondering where did I get that first demo from? It was from a book, right? I don't call names. It is not our job to bring down anybody. If something doesn't work for us, it is simple. You do what I did and you come up with your own ways on making it better. Right? So that's all I am doing. I decided, okay, that didn't work as I wanted it to. I want to say that the taste, I want to say again, it was very lovely. It's just the texture wasn't what I think cross bun should be. But the taste was really there and traditional and lovely. It's just the texture was a bit too dense and dry based on that book version that I followed. So this is the reason for the second demo and me doing it my way, right? So this is what you're looking for, guys. When your sheet is filled out with all your buns, just leave it to sit for a while again and bake it. I don't like to really tell people what temperatures and so forth to use, because I always say that is based on the make and age of your oven. And if you have gas or electric, there's a number of factors that go into that, right? So I always say when baking, whether pies or breads or cakes, you have to know how your oven operates and will to suit, right? So this is it. I hope you guys catch what I was doing and you are able to follow it. And I am, of course, doing it way ahead of Easter. So it gives you time to go out and get your ingredients and probably try around with it a bit. Cranberries, craisins, dry cranberries that is sugared could be used also. If you want to change things up a bit, it can be used, right? But leave this to sit until it is like double the size. Like I said, you can put it close, it's not a problem. You can put it apart, it's not a problem. It's however you want it. Sometimes we buy it and we see on the size, you can tell that they were close together. That's okay too, right? So, guys, just follow. If you have any questions, comment below. because of course it will all my demos are on YouTube under the name Food by Chamion, and Chamion, and it's on. I have an Instagram account for the business, Food by Chamion. There's a Facebook page for the business, Food by Chamion, and the business have an email address which is foodbychamion@gmail.com. My name is spelled Chamion again, for those of you that might want to come into contact. But guys, feel free to send me. I will fix them to suit, because you know this year I think I'm gonna not do just 3 rows, right? But like I said, but feel free to send me suggestions, something on what local dish you want me to do next and things like that, right? All right. Yes, so this is what the final product looks like. It is very soft, as you can see, right? I glazed it with some unflavored gelatin. The brand isn't important, however, when using it, make sure that it is, or gelatin as it is known, make sure when you are using it that you put a little bit of sugar. You have to treat it the way you will treat jello, traditional jello that we will make, the dessert. So you have to put sugar in here because there is none in this one and there is no flavoring. So put it in, but set it with warm water is what is important. Warm water and about a tablespoon of sugar. I use brown sugar, it doesn't matter. For my icing, I use a couple tablespoons of confectioner sugar, icing sugar, and some evaporated milk, along with some fresh orange zest and some orange bitters for depth of flavor. I'm using a regular squeeze bottle to make the cross. It will give me more control and everything else, but you can feel free to use a piping bag and an icing tube if you so desire, right? So I'm just going to show how we go about doing the cross, right? As I was saying in the first demo, a lot of people love icing, right? We had a little dropping on this side. So for some people, that is the most enjoyable part of it. So they will be a little annoyed to have little tiny bit like that. That will really annoy and bug some people. The icing lovers, those with really serious sweet tooth, that is going to bother them a lot, right? But if you have this squeeze button and you want to use it, feel free to snip it some more. I'm just going to go over the line on this one. I find it's a bit right, but you want to make it thick, because if you make it too thin, the icing that is, and it is really hot and humid on the outside, it is going to melt. I see it time and time again, even when I purchase from the bakeries, even the top of the line bakeries, when it's hot outside, it melts away, right? So it's not nothing to fuss about, really. It isn't. You just go. It don't even have to be a perfect cross, right? If it is too small on your bottle, just snip it, like I say, with a scissors that you haven't used on anything else. Like I have a pair of kitchen scissors, use for kitchen purposes only, right? It's nothing hard, it's real easy. This is like easy, like a baby could do it, a child, like about a toddler, so, right? You can always, I will make this hole bigger, I will, because it isn't enough icing for those that love icing. Really, I will make it bigger. I will go bigger with that. Right? So it's no hard work and no, you know, some persons don't use icing for the cross. It's baked, not icing, but they use a way that they bake it in the into the bun itself. I guess that'll be great for diabetics, right? This same bun, they also use the gelatin, and they just what they do is they dip it in sugar. That's all they do, right? So just go over, but I'll suggest it cool first before you do it, right? Ice it, right? Make it cool right down. And icing always seems to work better in more cooler conditions. So if you're not having a hot day, it's gonna be perfect, right? I'm just going over. The icing lovers won't be mad at me at all for this. Knowing that I'm going over, they will be thrilled. Right, so it is as easy as that. Wherever you miss, just go over with your tube. Right, so don't make these things a problem. I just want to show you all the texture of the bun. This is what it should look like on the inside. Some people will use yellow coloring in here, right? It's safe, yellow food coloring, right? This is the texture that we have, which is the way a bun should be, right? Bun texture, perfection. We have some peels in there, mixed peel and so forth, right? Alright guys, it was my pleasure. I'll be with you guys soon. Bye.